Thomas Tuchel criticises Chelsea display as Champions League holders throw away top spot. Thomas Tuchel has criticised his Chelsea side after they conceded a stoppage-time equaliser against Zenit St Petersburg to hand top spot in their Champions League group to Juventus. "I think that we had a very good first 15 minutes and then we stopped doing the things we did in the first 15 minutes," explained the German at his post-match press conference. "In the feeling, and this is my opinion, that this is okay what we are doing, that we are in charge, that we are the better team, but we are forgetting why we are the better team. Because of the investment, the level of concentration, the level of physical investment was high enough to be the better team. And once this drops 5% or 10%, and it does, and once we start managing results and changing our behavior from what the score is, we get punished at the moment. It happened to us in West Ham, it happened to us today. The reaction was again good. That shows me that it is not about what we can do, because we can step up and show a reaction when we concede goals, but once we have the lead we give it away again, like also today. So the last 6 minutes we start playing balls back, we start not attacking in the same aggression and in the same hunger as before, and we got immediately punished now twice. It is for me about the level of investment, we have to do the things no matter what's on the scoresheet." Tuchel continued, "My analysis is very clear. Our behavior changes when we have a lead, and this is something we've never done and should never do. Because we do the things we want to do at the highest level and we push ourselves and it hurts and it has to hurt and you have to be tired at halftime, and fully tired. And you have to play through pain, physical pain. And you have to raise your level of concentration and you have to overcome adversity. If you change your behavior because of the score you allow the possibility to get punished. The challenge is to close the door and minimize the possibility. And it's very easy. We need a higher level of sprints, runs, intensity, concentration. It's as easy as that, it's the basics. The basics need to be pushed onto a higher level while we are in the lead. They cannot drop just because we are in the lead, and this is what is happening right now to us. It isn't good enough." Cesar Azpilicueta pinpoints Chelsea's biggest problem, ahead of crucial Leeds clash. Cesar Azpilicueta has told his Chelsea teammates that they must improve in one key area ahead of their crucial Premier League clash against Leeds United on Saturday. Azpilicueta has admitted that their defending hasn't been good enough during the last 2 games, and urged the problem to be sorted as soon as possible. "It hurts to concede a goal in the 94th minute when we have led twice," the club captain said following Chelsea's 3-3 draw with Zenit. "In the first half we played very good for 15 minutes, but then we dropped our level and we could have even been 3-1 down before half-time. There were a few minutes where we lost the pace of the game. We had a good reaction in the second half and we were leading with 3 minutes to go, so it hurts a lot to concede. Zenit have very talented players with individual quality. They played with freedom and found spaces. We are normally a team that is quite solid. We don't concede many chances or many goals, but in the last 2 games we have conceded 6 goals and that isn't good enough. We have to sort this problem out. It's true we are having a tough moment. In the last couple of games the performances have not been very good and that has been reflected in the results. We have to have a reaction. There is still a lot to play for." The 32-year-old added, "In football you have to accept it, analyze and improve. We need everybody to get that extra % sharper, as individuals and as a team. Hopefully we can do it from Saturday already. We have to recover this solidity across the whole team. We know we are not at our top level. We have to have a reaction on Saturday in front of our fans, and all together try to get the win and have a good performance from the first minute, and then from there start building our confidence." Thomas Tuchel explains his decision to play Reece James in midfield against Zenit St Petersburg. Thomas Tuchel has explained mounting injuries forced him to get creative in his team selection against Zenit St Petersburg after picking Reece James in midfield. The Chelsea boss made 8 changes as his side were held to a 3-3 draw away in Russia on Wednesday night. With N'Golo Kanté, Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic all unavailable due to injury, James was deployed in midfield alongside Ross Barkley, with Saul Niguez starting in a left-wing back role. While one of Chelsea's best players this term, the England international was often overrun in the middle of the park. But with Tuchel eager to rest Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who remained on the bench in St. Petersburg. Tuchel explained he had little choice but to experiment with Reece in a new role. Asked whether James is likely to have a future midfield role, Tuchel said, "I expect N'Golo, Matteo, Jorge and Ruben to start in midfield, but they are all out, so we had to get creative with Reece. The target is to put him on the wing, but we need players in midfield." Chelsea are experiencing their first rocky patch of the season, winning just one of their last 4 and having shipped 6 in their last 2 following Saturday's defeat at West Ham. If you are coach of Chelsea and you concede 6 goals in 2 matches, 4 times we've given the lead away, my ambition to talk about individual performances is not so high, Tuchel said in his post-match press conference. We can't be happy today or against West Ham. It is like that now not to talk about individual performances. Nobody can be happy. Rio Ferdinand hails Reece James as a «ridiculous talent» after the defender produced a fine performance in Chelsea's midfield. Rio Ferdinand labelled Reece James a «ridiculous talent» after starring for Chelsea against Zenit St Petersburg. This talent. We spoke about right-backs in this country with huge talent dictating games. He went into midfield and looked like he'd been playing there all his life. He was dominating, passing, breaking things up. He's an integral part of the team there. You win games in the central midfield area a lot of the time, that battle in there. He's gone in there in a Champions League game and produced a performance that is getting people talking about him. Only top players can do that, are intelligent enough to adapt to different positions. You don't worry about those players. The way Reece goes into different areas of the pitch, when he receives it in the middle of the pitch he looks so comfortable. Fellow pundit Owen Hargreaves compared him to a former Blues midfielder in Ghanaian Michael Essien in terms of his power, strength and quick feet. He added, "He reminds me of Essien playing in there. Powerful. He can cover ground, play on his own, get up against people 1 versus 1, he's such a great player." When Ferdinand asked about if there were any weaknesses to his game, Hargreaves continued, "Nothing. Nothing. I don't think he's got one. He's the most complete right-back in England. He can play in midfield without question." Joe Cole laments 2 key Chelsea decisions that backfired on Thomas Tuchel against Zenit. Joe Cole believes Chelsea's 3-3 draw with Zenit underlined how important Thiago Silva and Antonio Rudiger are to the team. Neither centre-back was involved in the game in Russia, where the holders were defensively poor and conceded a stoppage-time equaliser which meant they missed out on top spot in their Champions League group. And former Blues star Cole has no doubt the presence of Rudiger or veteran defender Silva would have made all the difference. Speaking on BT Sport, Cole said, "You take Rudiger and Thiago Silva, 2 leaders, out of the team and they look disjointed. We haven't seen this from a Thiago Silva side. You take the leaders out of the team and these things can happen. When one of the 2 don't play it generally upsets the team." With Chelsea already sure of a place in the knockout stage, boss Thomas Tuchel clearly had one eye on this weekend's game against Leeds. Tuchel has got it spot on since he's come in and obviously his focus is on Leeds, but he will be disappointed, Cole said. Dietmar Hamann thinks Chelsea will fall behind Liverpool and Man City in title race. Dietmar Hamann believes that Chelsea won't be able to keep up with Liverpool and Manchester City in the race for the Premier League title this season. Chelsea went into their game against West Ham last Saturday sitting top of the table, having only lost one of their opening 14 top-flight matches and conceding a league best of 6 goals. However, Thomas Tuchel's side succumbed to a disappointing 3-2 defeat against the Hammers, a result which sees them drop to third, 2 points behind City in first and 1 shy of Liverpool. The injuries are also mounting for the West London club, with first-team regulars Trevoh Chalobah, Ben Chilwell, N'Golo Kanté and Jorginho all missing their crucial Champions League clash against Zenit St Petersburg on Wednesday, while Mateo Kovacic was also unavailable after contracting COVID-19. And Hamann believes that the current Champions League holders will finish some way behind Liverpool and City, whose experience in title races will shine through. It's still a 3-horse race right now, but I don't think Chelsea have what it takes to win the Premier League over Liverpool and Manchester City. I know they won the Champions League, but it's a different competition. There aren't as many games in the Champions League and you can show no fear in that competition because you can pick up results if the opposition aren't quite at it. But the Premier League is a long stretch. I just think City and Liverpool are one if not two steps ahead of Chelsea, and this is why I think they will both have a healthy gap over Chelsea come the end of the season. City will be hoping to extend their lead at the top of the league table when they host Wolves on Saturday, with Chelsea welcoming Leeds United to Stamford Bridge and Liverpool facing Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa.
That is on Chelsea News today. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.